My client Rebecca sat in my office last year and told me, Mary, I left the sweetest man alive for a guy who does not even return my calls. And she was not the only one. I hear this every single week. Women walk away from men who treat them like queens and run straight into the arms of men who barely care. Today, I am going to tell you exactly why this happens and what is really going on inside a woman's mind when she makes this choice. Hello, my beautiful people. Welcome back. Oh, this topic today is going to start some wars in the comments, and I am ready for it. This is one of the most misunderstood things about women, and I have been wanting to talk about it for a long time. Every good man out there has asked this question at least once in his life. Why did she choose him over me? And every woman has at some point looked back and wondered why on earth she was so drawn to someone who was clearly wrong for her. Today, we are going deep into the psychology of this, and I promise you, by the end of this video, everything will make sense. Be honest with me right now. Have you ever chosen the wrong person, even though you knew better? Type guilty in the comments. All right, let us get into this because there is a lot to unpack here. The first thing that happens is that good men become predictable. And I know that sounds terrible, but let me explain. He calls at the same time every day. He says the same sweet things. He is always available, always agreeable, always right there. My friend Denise told me, Mary, my ex was so nice that I knew exactly what he would say before he even opened his mouth. There was zero surprise, zero mystery, zero spark. And women, whether they admit it or not, are wired to crave a little bit of unpredictability. That does not mean they want chaos, but they need to feel something stirring inside them, and predictability kills that feeling completely. Now, the second thing is that bad boys project confidence. Not real confidence most of the time, but the kind that looks like it from the outside. He walks in like he owns the room. He doesn't chase her. He doesn't beg for her attention. My neighbor Karen told me about a guy she dated years ago. She said, Mary, he never once asked me where I wanted to eat. He just picked the place and said, get dressed. We're leaving in 20 minutes. And she said something inside her lit up like a firework when he did that. Now, was he a great guy? Absolutely not. But that decisiveness, that boldness, it triggered something deep in her brain that the nice guy who always asked her to choose never could. The third problem is that good men often confuse being kind with being passive. There is a massive difference between being a genuinely kind man and being a man who agrees with everything because he's afraid of losing her. This is funny. Women can smell fear in a man, and I am not even joking. My client Natalie once told me, Mary, he would apologize even when he did nothing wrong just to keep the peace. At first I thought it was sweet, then it became suffocating, then it became disgusting. That is harsh, but that is the reality. When a man has no backbone, a woman does not feel safe with him. She feels like she is carrying him. The fourth thing is that bad boys create emotional intensity. The highs are incredibly high and the lows are painfully low. And that roller coaster, that constant push and pull, it becomes addictive. My cousin Samira was with a man who would disappear for 3 days and then show up with flowers and a smile like nothing happened. And every single time he came back, the relief she felt was so powerful that she mistook it for love. She told me, Mary, when he finally texted me back, I felt like I won the lottery. That is not love. That is emotional addiction, and millions of women are trapped in it without even knowing. The fifth problem, and this one is painful to say, many women grew up watching their mothers choose the wrong men, so their brain built a blueprint of what love looks like, and that blueprint is broken. She does not go looking for bad boys on purpose. Her subconscious mind tells her that love is supposed to feel difficult, uncertain, and a little bit painful. So when a good man shows up and love feels easy and calm, her brain tells her something is wrong, something is missing. My client Joanne said it perfectly. She said, Mary, when things are going well, I get anxious because I keep waiting for the other shoe to drop. That is the saddest thing I have ever heard a woman say about love. Which one of these hits you right in the chest? Tell me in the comments, because I know at least one of these is your story. Now, let me explain the psychology behind all of this, because it is fascinating and heartbreaking at the same time. First, there is something called intermittent reinforcement. Fancy words, but simple concept. When someone gives you attention and affection unpredictably, sometimes yes, sometimes no, sometimes hot, sometimes cold, your brain becomes obsessed with getting that reward again. It is the exact same mechanism that makes gambling addictive. You do not get addicted to winning, you get addicted to not knowing when you will win. Bad boys do this naturally. They give attention and then pull it away, and the woman's brain goes into overdrive trying to earn it back. My friend Pauline told me, I used to check my phone 40 times a day waiting for his message, and when it finally came, I felt like I could breathe again. That is not romance. That is a dopamine trap. Second, women are biologically drawn to men who display signs of dominance and assertiveness. This goes back thousands of years when survival depended on having a partner who could protect and provide. Now, in modern life, nobody needs protection from wild animals, but that wiring is still active in the brain. So when a bad boy walks in with that careless confidence, her ancient brain lights up and says, this one is strong. This one can handle things. Meanwhile, the good guy who brings her soup when she is sick does not trigger that same primal response. It is not fair, but it is real. Third, many women have low self-worth and they don't even realize it. A woman who deep down believes she does not deserve good treatment will unconsciously reject the man who treats her well. His kindness feels uncomfortable because it doesn't match the story she tells herself about who she is. My client Tanja told me, every time he said something sweet to me, I thought he was lying or trying to manipulate me. She could not accept love because she did not believe she was worthy of it. And that is why you will see brilliant, beautiful, accomplished women choosing men who treat them like they don't matter. It's not stupidity. It's a wound that has never been healed. If any of this just made something click inside your brain, type "I get it now" in the comments, because understanding this is the first step to breaking the pattern. Now let me give you the solutions, because nobody should stay stuck in this cycle. First, if you are a woman who keeps choosing the wrong men, you need to sit with yourself and ask one honest question. What did love look like in my childhood? Not what was love supposed to look like, but what did I actually see? Because whatever you saw, that became your definition of love. If love looked like chaos, you will chase chaos. If love looked like silence, you will accept silence. My client Rebecca, the one I mentioned at the beginning, she did this exercise and called me crying. She said, Mary, my father was exactly like every man I have ever chosen. He was charming and absent. That one realization changed her entire approach to relationships. Second, if you are a good man watching this, stop being agreeable and start being authentic. There is nothing attractive about a man who has no opinions, no boundaries, and no fire inside him. You can be kind and still disagree with her. You can be loving and still say no when something does not sit right with you. My friend Denise's current partner is the kindest man I know, but he will look her straight in the eye and say, I love you, but I think you're wrong about this. And she told me, Mary, that is the sexiest thing a man has ever said to me. That is what real confidence looks like. Not arrogance, not control, just a man who knows who he is. Third, women need to learn the difference between excitement and genuine connection. If your heart is racing every time he texts you, that might not be love. That might be anxiety. Real love does not feel like a roller coaster. Real love feels like sitting next to someone and your whole body relaxes.
Start paying attention to how your nervous system responds to a man. Does he make you feel calm or does he make you feel on edge?
My cousin Samira finally met a man who made her feel peaceful, and her first reaction was, "This is boring." I told her, "No, sweetheart, that is not boredom, that is safety, and safety is what love actually feels like." Fourth, heal the wound before you pick the next person. Talk to someone, journal, go to therapy, do whatever it takes to understand why you are drawn to pain. Because until you fix the pattern inside you, you will keep repeating it with different faces. My client Joanne spent 1 year working on herself before dating again, and she told me, "Mary, for the first time in my life, I chose a man because he was good for me, not because he made me feel crazy." That is growth, that is healing, and that is available to every single woman watching this right now. Which solution spoke to you the most? Tell me in the comments and let us talk about it together. Listen, I want every woman watching this to understand something. Choosing the wrong man does not make you stupid, it makes you human. Your brain was doing what it thought was right based on everything it learned growing up. But now you know better, and when you know better, you can choose better. And to every good man watching this, do not change who you are, just add some fire to that kindness. Be kind and bold, be gentle and strong, be loving and unshakable. That is the man every woman actually needs, even if it takes her a while to figure that out. If this video opened your eyes, subscribe to this channel and share it with someone who is stuck in this cycle. I love you all, take care of your hearts, and I will see you in the next one, my darlings.